I'd like to give a big hand to Mr. Eddie Izzard.
Eddie, how are you doing this morning?
I am fine. I know the rain's going to come, but unfortunately I'm only doing 2 hours. It's a marathon, it's a walking marathon. It's like a joy for me. Because this is something, if anyone does do marathons, runs marathons, if you do get knackered, just start walking a bit and you can walk things out. You can even walk out injuries.
Really?
Yeah, I know there's a running legend called Bruce Toller who got the world record for running across America. Unfortunately, he's passed away now, but he strapped on a boot very tight. He strained, pulled a muscle in his foot, in his leg, calf, and he just put a boot on, strapped it tight, and he walked every day to keep his distance going. So you can actually walk out injuries, which is an amazing thing. But anyway, it's great to be on this. You know, it's helping kids in South London. Mental health is obviously the thing that we're looking at, well, really trying to focus on this year. And I'm so pleased I'm able to get here. Having come from a gig in Oxford last night and a gig in Plymouth tonight. So,
and you're going from Plymouth to Newcastle tomorrow?
Yes, tonight. We'll actually get in the bus after the gig and they'll drive up through the night. That's the modern touring method.
What show is that?
It's called Wunderbar.
Okay.
Wunderbar, they'll be at the London Palladium at the end of this month and for 4 days, in the beginning of November. But yeah, I've toured it all around the world.
What languages are you doing shows in at the moment?
So auf Deutsch, alles auf Deutsch. So I did that. It was actually developed en français and in German. So I normally workshop the things and I muck about and I'll just play with the audience. And I normally do that in English, but I did this one in French first for 2 months and then about a month in Germany, literally just mucking about. And sometimes you don't have the words, you don't have the vocabulary, and you have to ask the audience. So that's kind of bonkers, but I like pushing it, I like reaching out and making connections around the world. You know, football is a great connector. Think of it, I think football can save the world. Here's my theory, I have a lot of theories. Let's go. I say this to American people, because football, soccer is lower on their priority list, but it's a great human game, because if you're tall, you can be good at football. If you're small, you can be good at football. If you're wide, you can be good at football. If you're thin, you can be good at football. We've seen examples of this. It's completely open to anyone. And in Europe particularly, we used to say, oh, women can't play it, and now we know women can play amazing football. And I played on a mixed team in LA when I was playing one. And the woman I can't remember her name, I think it was like Stella, and she had red hair. And she was just the best striker we had going. So just get it to Stella, just kick it to Stella. And when she got it, she'd wang it in the back of the net. I thought, this is, and that's beautiful to see that. So I think it spreads the respect around. And it's particularly in the international games that you'd think, well, America's got so much money and in Britain we've got, we're a big country or whatever, or financially well off. But we can get beaten. Did we get beaten last night?
Yeah, we did.
Czech Republic, the Czech Republic beat.
And we beat them 5-0 only like a couple of months ago.
I know. So, and I like that about football. I like that about the Premiership this season, is that it's not exactly who you think. Okay, Man City. Who just beat Man City? Was it Wolves?
Norwich beat them, didn't they? And Wolves beat them as well.
Yeah. So this is good. We need that, because I remember in my day it used to be quite a fluid first division way back in the day before it became the Premiership, and that is better for every major city around the UK in the Premiership being able to say, hey, our guys are doing good. We're 8th in the table at the moment, is it? And internationally, that's great. I think football is the one that can save the world, because it spreads the respect around.
Do you get to have much football chat when you're travelling around the world?
Not really. My problem with football is I stopped playing team games when I was 12, right? Yeah. I went to a boarding school, and I'm going to say this every time I'm on a camera. There's certain boarding schools around Britain that do not play, they play field hockey instead of football. That is insane. I think we invented the game. We pretty much invented the more modern game. And so, yes, field hockey has its place, but surely football, cricket there, rugby and football, those should be the main ones, and then whatever. So, but I stopped at 12, and I lived and died for it. And I became a Palace fan at 1969, and if we won, it was great, and if we lost, it was hellish. And I'm still in that kind of vein. So I find it very painful in football. You know, I get the reports, because I'm usually touring or filming somewhere, and when the Palace report's coming through on texts, I got this app where every time there's a goal scored, it goes like a sound of a goal being scored, and I have to look and go, is that for us or is that for them? That's for us. You know, I'm still living and dying by the goals that are going in. But yes, I like the position we're in. We were up at 4th, weren't we? Just a couple of
now.
We're 6th now. It's not 8th. We're 6th. So, and we were 4th just before. But still, I think we're a little bit lucky to be here. But Palace, we've had a rough beginning of seasons for a number of years. So this is a better beginning of season than we've had for a long time.
And finally, just because I've put some guys here today doing their first ever walk like this, what's the best way of getting into doing regular exercise, like going for
Okay, well this is what I tell. When I ran my 27 marathons in 27 days in South Africa, I'm just saying that to just show that I have credentials.
And the last day was 2.
The last day was a double marathon because day 5 I couldn't run my marathon. I had a guy called Tim Cruz-Drew, and he was an Olympic level sports trainer, sports therapist, and he was giving me advice on what to do and just how to look after your body, how to mentally approach it. It's a mental thing. But he told me once you've done the big marathons, you don't need to do them all the time. Hang on. He says what Tim said was that do HIIT training, high intensity interval training. It's the sprint recovery. It's what football players do. Rugby players do it as well. Football players are probably the best examples of that because they're all amazingly fit. It's sprint recovery. If you do half an hour of that before breakfast, before eating, fasted it's called. So as if you haven't been eating, you will kickstart your metabolism. That's all you need to do, 20 minutes to half an hour every day that you can before breakfast. And that's what I do now, and you can keep match fit for life, because match fit for life, surely that is the way to do it. All the wild animals do it. We were wild, we became civilized and slightly more tamer, and we stopped doing this. We don't fight for our food, we don't hunt for our food. But if you want to say match fit for life, you can do this on a bicycle, you can do it on a treadmill, you can do it outside running, you can do it swimming, but it's sprint recovery. You've got to get out of breath. Getting out of breath like we did as kids, that is one of the key things of staying fit. So look it up, HIIT, HIIT training.
Thank you very much.